Have you ever spent a small fortune on prime rib only to overcook it and feel that heartbreak? Yeah, I've been there, but not today. I'm going to show you exactly how to smoke a prime rib to a perfect medium rare. It's going to be juicy, smoky, and packed with flavor. And trust me, once you do it this way, you'll never look back. Let's get started. All right, before we can even think about firing up the smoker, we've got to start with the right cut. Because let's be real, if you're spending good money on prime rib, you want it to be next level. So bone in or boneless. Here's the deal. Bone in gives you more flavor and keeps that meat juicy and just looks impressive when you bring it to the table. But yeah, you have to carve around the bones. Boneless, it's super easy to slice and a little bit more predictable when cooking. If you're new to smoking prime rib, this is the way to go. But to be honest, either one works. It really comes down to what you're comfortable with. Now, this part is huge. You see all that white streaky fat running through the meat? That's marbling. And it's what makes the prime rib juicy, buttery, and downright irresistible. If you pick a lean cut, you're setting yourself up for a dry roast. So go with one with a good, even marbling, and you'll thank me later. Now, how much do you actually need? A good rule of thumb, about 3/4 to a full pound per person, if you got some serious meat lovers at the table. Or you want some leftovers for the best steak sandwiches ever. Go on the higher side. Not sure which prime rib to buy? Bone in or boneless? What grade? How much per person? It can get confusing. That's why I made the Prime Rib Buyer's Guide. It's a simple PDF that breaks it all down for you. Want a copy? Drop Prime in the comments, and I'll send you the link. All right, let's get this prime rib ready for the smoker. A little prep now means a whole lot of flavor later, so don't rush this part. First up, trimming. Now, some prime ribs come pretty well trimmed, but if yours has a thick fat cap, you want to leave it about a 1/4 inch. That's the sweet spot. Too much fat, and it won't render properly. Too little, and you lose some of that buttery goodness. And if you see any of that tough silver skin, go ahead and trim it off. It won't break down during the cooking process and just gets in the way. Now, let's talk about seasoning. You can't go wrong with the classic trio: salt, black pepper, and garlic powder. Simple, bold, and lets that beefy flavor shine. But if you want to switch it up, try adding a little smoked paprika, rosemary, or even a touch of coffee rub. It adds a whole new layer of flavor. Here's the real game changer: dry brining. Once it's seasoned, let it sit uncovered in the fridge overnight. This does two things. First, it helps the salt work its way deep into the meat, making every bite more flavorful. And second, it dries out the surface just enough to give that killer crust when it smokes. I know waiting is tough, but this is one step that takes your prime rib from good to holy crap. That's amazing. All right, now that our prime rib is prepped, it's time to talk about the smoker. Because if we mess up this part, that perfect medium rare, yeah, that's not happening. Not all wood is created equal. The wrong choice can overpower your prime rib. For a good balance, I stick to oak, hickory, or applewood. Oak is like the reliable workhorse: a steady burn, a nice flavor. Hickory, a little stronger, and it gives you that classic barbecue punch. And applewood, that's for a touch of mild sweetness. If you like a lighter smoke, that's your best bet. Now, temperature is everything. 225 degrees Fahrenheit is the magic number. Low and slow, so the fat melts down and bastes the meat. Too hot, you'll dry it out. Too low, you'll be eating next Tuesday. All right, the smoker's ready. The prime rib is seasoned. Now let's talk about how to smoke this thing the right way. One of the biggest questions people ask is fat cap or down. Here's the deal. Fat cap up is the way to go. As that fat slowly melts, it bastes the meat naturally, keeping it juicy and loaded with flavor. If you put it fat side down, all that goodness just drips into the smoker. And we're not here to feed the fire. We're here to make the best prime rib of your life. Now listen, guessing when your prime rib is done is a rookie move. A meat thermometer is your best friend here, because even a few degrees can mean the difference between perfect and overcooked. 110 degrees Fahrenheit to 115 degrees Fahrenheit, that's the time to pull it and get it ready for the final sear. 120 degrees to 125 degrees Fahrenheit, after resting, this is perfect medium rare. And don't forget, carryover cooking is real. Once you pull that prime rib off the smoker, the temp is going to rise another 5 to 10 degrees while it rests. That's why we stop early. To spritz or not to spritz. Now, some people like to spritz the prime rib ever so often, maybe with some beef broth or a little Worcestershire mix, or maybe some water. If you dry brine it overnight, like we talked about, you don't really need to spritz. The bark is going to form beautifully, and the meat's already got all the moisture it needs. That's it. Now we just let it roll low and slow until it hits our desired internal temperature. Okay, the prime rib has been soaking up all that smoky goodness, and we're sitting at the perfect temperature. But if we stop here, we're missing out on one of the best parts, that crispy, flavorful crust. That's where the reverse sear comes in. Ever seen a smoked prime rib that looks kind of gray or pale? Yeah, that's not exciting or appetizing. That's because it skipped the sear. Quick blast of high heat locks in all the juices. It gives you that deep golden brown crust that makes every bite next level. And here's how to nail that sear. If you got a grill fired up, crank it all the way up to 500 degrees Fahrenheit or higher. We want ripping hot heat to caramelize that crust fast without overcooking the inside. My go-to choice is a cast iron pan on high heat. It gets the job done perfectly. Just add a little beef tallow or butter for an extra flavor boost, and you're all set. How long should you sear the meat? This part is quick, 30 to 60 seconds per side. That's all you need to build a beautiful crust while keeping the inside a perfect medium rare. And just like that, we've taken the prime rib from great to unreal. Okay, I know the smell is insane right now, and you just want to dive in, but hold up. If you slice into this too soon, all that incredible juice is going to run straight out, and nobody wants a dry prime rib. Resting is the secret to keeping the thing juicy. Why is resting key? When meat comes off the heat, those juices are racing around inside. If you cut right inside, they spill out and you're left with a drier piece of meat. Give it 10 to 15 minutes to rest so all the flavor stays locked in. How to slice it perfectly. Now, when it's time to cut, you want to cut against the grain. This keeps every bite tender and easy to chew. And go for thicker slices. Too thin, and you lose that perfect balance of smoky crust and juicy center. So that's exactly how you smoke a prime rib to a perfect medium rare. It's juicy, smoky, and packed with flavor. But here's what I didn't tell you at the start. Everything I just showed you, it won't work the same way if you're using an electric smoker. If that's what you're cooking on, there are a few key adjustments you have to make to get the same perfect results. Click on this video right here, and I'll show you exactly how to smoke a prime rib roast in an electric smoker. I'll see you there.